It's better to buy peace with a lot of money than to start to rescue yourself every day. So it's more like building Europe in Africa. Having gone around the world to do something in Africa that the African person can be proud of, a place that shows the richness of our culture, the richness of our people, excellence, a place which shows capacity to present luxury and yet affordable. Makarios is really our attempt to also make even people in the diaspora to desire to come to Nigeria despite all the odds. That, among many other reasons, is the reason for Makarios. In our attempt to build Makarios luxury place, several things have been put in place. Firstly, having had qualified engineers and chartered builders on site, we didn't feel that was enough. Then we brought external consultants to consult for us to manage what we are about to do. Not only are these external consultants on ground, we also have just hired a global CEO, an expatriate, to manage the people on ground. Sometimes because they don't have room for compromise, and they know they are held responsible for whatever they do. So Makarios is out there to see that whatever it does is with excellence. For example, our drainage system, we do not want flooding. We do not want to have to explain any building works issues. There will not be any project that is carried out that is not properly approved before we go on. And it's not just paper approval. We'll have consultants checkmating the contractors on ground. That's one of the reasons why Makarios Luxury Place, though it has its own civil engineers and chartered builders, it's not actually building any of this. The only thing we have taken on by ourselves to do civil works is just the water display place. Every other thing, we bring in contractors who have a track record and who have experience and who have done greatly in the land. It's very interesting to see that while there could have been flooding in places like Banana Island, Ikoyi, and other highbrow areas, there are also other areas where, for example, I live in an estate here in Lekki, which, I mean, I've lived there close to 6 years. Even if it rains cats, dogs, hippopotamuses, you would not find flooding for 1 minute. I therefore made up my mind that that was the standard Makarios was going to be. So from day one, before we sold a plot, we brought in road and drains engineers who all they were doing was creating the road network. We had to go get billions of naira. We had to go take facilities of billions of naira to create the road network, to create the drainage system. And the beauty of Makarios is that while our estate drains, Makarios has two major roads that are in front and at the back. Lekki Expressway in front and the regional road at the back. And Lagos State, being the ones putting in the regional road, had done a major drain. So straight away, everything from Makarios drains into that major drain that is regional. So every time it rains, all the roads that have been completed in Makarios, you will never see a retention, because one of the things we committed to was very good drainage system. Not only very good, all our drains will also be covered, and all our sewage will be central, so that whatever waste is in people's home by way of sewage does not stay in a soakaway. It goes straight to a central sewage place. So it's more like building Europe in Africa. I have lived in the United Kingdom for 39 years. I've never had to worry my head about flooding. I've never had to worry my head about sewage. I've never had to worry my head about water or light, and that's why Makarios Luxury Place, from day one, we said, look, when you buy Makarios plot or a house, power, light, and sewage are at the edge of your plot. That is, if you buy a plot, all you now need to do is connect to our plot, connect to the power, connect to the water, and connect to the sewage. And if you buy a house, we've already connected it for you. Makarios took a time to calculate the total square meterage of our land, and we found out that in order to put good drainage, good road, electricity, sewage, and water by your plot, it was costing us 40,000 naira per square meters, which basically therefore means that on average, before we sold you your land, we have already accrued 20 million naira on power, drains, light, in a nutshell, infrastructure coming to your plot already costs us 20 million. So if Makarios plot is sold to you, what you need to do is to realize that, wait a minute, they are not coming back to me and say surcharge for road, surcharge for water coming into the estate. And by the way, when we even say power, you will not see one electric pole in Makarios. If you see a pole standing, it is street light, which means that we have used the most expensive cables called armor cables to run 100 acres of land so that all power is underground, just as you see it in Europe. So if people want an estate that is cheap and that is compromised, Makarios is not their place. But if they want a place that is functional, that is beautiful, then Makarios is the place. And by the way, when you buy a Makarios 5-6 bedroom Deliazo for 350 million, it is the same house which 40 minutes away or 45 minutes away is for 600 million in Lekki phase 1. The material with which it was built is the same. So what we have done is try to do excellent work at the same time at an amount you can afford. So Makarios, for example, have already done all this work. And by the way, when you buy Makarios plot, you do not pay another extra money for legal. You do not pay another extra money for documentation. Once you pay, you just get your document. I started consolidating and buying lands and houses for my grandchildren. I found that when they advertised and I thought I had finished paying, then I was slapped with another 3 to 5 million. They said documentation, legal, survey. Whereas we are trying to do a one-stop shop so that when you are buying, we didn't come back to charge you for survey. We didn't come back to charge you for legals. We didn't come back to charge you for infrastructure development. That is the reason why Makarios price is that way. Sometimes people like costs to be hidden, and I consider that as falsehood. It is better for you to know up front, this is what it is going to cost me, and by the time you got your document, you are at peace. Let me also add, before we sold our land to you, we made sure we had a beacon sheet. That meant that every pillar on your land is registered at Lagos State Lands. Before we sold our land to you, we got an approval of the estate, which meant that every plot, the design as it is, was also approved by Lagos State. What we are selling is a place you will go to bed and you have no fear that either the statutory authorities or some Omonile is coming to harass you on your land. It's better to buy peace with a lot of money than to start to rescue yourself every day from the consequence of cutting corners. If today you start building a Makarios luxury estate, several advantages at your fingertips. Firstly, His Excellency the Governor of Lagos State have commissioned, and they are about to complete the road in front of Makarios. Right now is going on. It is being constructed in a way that it could be guaranteed to be 10-15 years before you will have potholes. It is making that part to become first class. Secondly, Makarios is a couple of minutes from the future airport, which means in effect that you are buying and investing into the future, and you are buying peace of mind. Thirdly, it is not far from the future Lagos and the future Nigeria. At the time of the recording of this video, Nigeria is in a mess when it comes to the removal of subsidy from crude oil, or petroleum rather, the one we consume. And very soon, just 30 minutes from Makarios, one of the largest industries that will affect the whole of West Africa will be exploding. Population is one of the things that put value on land. Population increases the value of land and the value of houses. The day is going to come when Makarios will be one of the choicest places to ever live in Lagos. I was a young man who was a pastor in the city of Lagos before I left 39 years ago. There was a time when Ebutemeta was the word. There was a time when Festac, Cocaine Avenue Festac was the word. Then suddenly businesses shifted from those areas, no industry, and suddenly the houses became stale. What are the indices of Makarios? It is now where the future industries will be. It is now where the future businesses will be. It is now where the future railway line will be. It is now where your exit to even go towards the east of Nigeria is. It is now where the petroleum industry that will practically change the landscape of business in the country is. Building real estate in Africa have always been what I have been part of. I started holding large land tracts for the past 35 years. When it became obvious that I would delay the development of Makarios, and it delayed for 23 years, I made up my mind that Makarios needed to make a statement. It needed to be a place I would be proud of. Number two, when my grandchildren started coming to Africa, they loved the home in which we stay. Our home in Africa is beautiful. But I was short of where to take them. And it just occurred to me that people didn't need to travel to all the nations. Whatever they have in those places can be here. So we decided that whatever it takes, we will build the Dubai of Africa by building a water display place, first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa. Not a small feat. Just the civil engineering work has cost us about $1.5 million. Not a small feat. The equipments that are about to come and to be fitted into the water display place have cost us €2 million, and that's just phase 1 out of 3 phases. This water display place is going to be absolutely unusual. It is a place where water dances to music, combined with light becomes a display. During the afternoons, you too can engage. We have water walkways. You can walk through it and water will cascade just over you like an arch. You walk through the arches, it will be great fun with your family. In the evening, we will not let you walk through, but you will sit at the promenade to watch the water display. At a point, the water will congeal and become like a screen. There will be 3 projection houses projecting images, beautiful videos from the back, all paid for, about to be shipped. Reasons for sometimes delays when it comes to Africa is that when you have a vision, you cannot bypass laws your nation have put in place. I love Nigeria, and there are good laws in this nation. Part of it was that no equipment should be brought to Nigeria without a pre-inspection. The pre-inspection is taking forever. All the equipments are ready. Our water display should have taken off since like May or June. So we're waiting for them to give approval, and then the equipment will come, we'll fix it, and we'll shoot the waters up. It is exciting. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to people seated there, and you who is watching this video, being able to be there, upload video, and tell your friends in America, in Europe, Asia, wherever, you let them know. They say, where is this? And you can say, it is Nigeria, it is Makarios. It's not a figment of imagination. It is already a done deal. The equipments are already about to be shipped, and they'll be here within 2-3 weeks of shipping, fix, and then we'll shoot the waters. I've already spent 50 years in the work I do, and I've built a testimony and reputation. I could never sell a lie. Firstly, on Makarios Luxury Place, we have the terrace houses, which we call Antizo. Beautiful, state-of-the-art smart houses. We have Deliazo, 18 out of this world, huge houses with 6 rooms, cinema, and so on and so forth. Then we have 10-floor buildings, which will be properly supervised and certified before we build, because nothing like building collapse in Makarios. But as for the future, hey, Makarios is coming with another phase 2 of somewhere else beyond where we are now. Not too far, but don't want to give away. When you hear the name of Makarios, the next chapter, you will also want to plug into Makarios chapter 2. Actually, we have chapter 3, we have chapter 4. All you've seen right now is chapter 1. And in this chapter 1, you've seen phase 1. Very soon you'll see chapter 1, phase 2. And after that, we'll take you to chapter 2. Chapter 2, I don't want people to steal our concepts. We don't want anyone to steal our concept. Just as Makarios bamboozled people and disrupted the market, we know that phase 2 is going to cause disruption. Phase 3 will cause another disruption. Hey, phase 4 will cause disruption. So all those investors who are out there who actually like to invest in real estate to hold, get ready. Makarios phase 2, Makarios chapter 2, Makarios chapter 3, Makarios chapter 4 is the place to come to. Many have wondered why we have not started part 2 of the sale of the land at Makarios Luxury Place. We also feel that our words should be our bond. That water display must take place first. So when the water shoots up and you are excited about it, then we will go into phase 2 of the land sale. But that one is going to be short, it's going to be quick, because we have so many people who have already either registered their name or they've been pushing very hard. The price is not going to be the same, but I can guarantee you phase 2 is actually locationally probably stronger, better, greater. If all that whets your appetite, let's see you, and let's see you connect when we sell phase 2 of Makarios Luxury Place. As for the residences, it's a place to really invest. Invest in the apartments in the 10th floor building, the Imperial Towers. Invest in the Deliazo, the detached houses. There's going to be 18. We've already signed the contract for 14. There's going to be 192 terrace houses. 24 are right now being built. Some of them have already been sold. So what are you waiting for? Join the Makarios bandwagon.